James pulls up, puts it in. LeBron James with the slam. James and a foul. Alley-oop.
LeBron James, you know, I would say he had a solid 2013. What do you think?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Second world title, check. Fourth MVP, check. AP, Male Athlete of the Year, check that as well. And on this his 29th birthday, LBJ just might be getting better and better and better. And he sent out a couple of tweets having fun with his birthday, including mom pinning money on him, like when he was a kid. But, you know, with the Heat in Denver Monday to face the Nuggets, LeBron is in a great place, expected to play after missing his previous game, and right now happy personally and professionally, just like the man we welcome in right now from Orlando. TNT's Craig Sager is with us, where he's on special vacation assignment. Sags, what about LeBron? I mean, look at him. He's just getting better. What's the ceiling for a guy like this at 29?
Well, you said, you know, professionally and also personally. Don't forget the spectacular year included that lavish wedding when he got married to his longtime sweetheart out in San Diego. So he does have his act together. And I don't know if you got a piece of his birthday cake, but last year they had that $3,000 birthday cake the team gave him. Well, this year, 30-cent rum cake. But I got my piece. But, you know, when you think about LeBron, he's gotten better every year. And I think back to 2 years ago when I was talking to him just before the All-Star break, and I talked about, you know, how excited he might be to be going back, or if he was getting old or whatever. And he goes, no, this is a chance for me to go and play against players better than me. I said, LeBron, in all honesty and humility aside, who do you think is better than you? He goes, Kobe. I go, why do you think he's better? He goes, come on. He has better footwork. He plays better defense. He's a better shooter, and he has 5 rings and I have none. So he always wanted to make himself better. And last year, he said, I got to be a better free throw shooter. And that's what he worked on all this summer. And every year, if you look at his statistics and other goals, he always has been working on something to make himself better. There are no weaknesses in his game. I mean, whether it's the post-up, he worked a couple of years ago on the outside shot. Now it's the free throws, and his defense obviously is second to none. So he just keeps getting better and better.
You know, Sags, I want to go back to this whole LeBron sense of self thing. And, you know, when he left Cleveland, he was vilified there. So he had to rebuild that image along the way. And he's done an amazing job. Do you know anyone else who's made this sort of, I guess, public relations comeback the way he has from a superstar status?
I think he fell into a trap. He got into Miami and he said, everybody's against me. They all root against us. I'm going to use that to my advantage and all that. And I said to him, I said, LeBron, you're not the bad guy. That is not who you are. I said, you're very popular. He goes, no, everybody roots against us. I said, no, if you look at the All-Star balloting, you lead all voting in the All-Star categories. People out there aren't against you. There's certain teams, obviously, and players that are trying to beat you. I said, but worldwide, your popularity is there. You are not a villain. You're not a bad guy. That role does not fit you. And he went through that year where they lost to Dallas, and he was miserable, and he said, you know, I got to go back to being happy. And he went back and now does everything community-wise, doesn't hide from the public, and likes to work with youth, likes to work with kids. And he's a much happier person. And as a result, like you mentioned, his image has skyrocketed. At one time, you know, he was like the most hated guy in the NBA, based on leaving Cleveland and based on the way the Miami team was perceived as coming together and buying a championship. But he certainly has turned that around. I think also playing for the Olympics, getting a couple of gold medals didn't hurt as well.
You know, guys, I've seen LeBron in different avenues. I saw him obviously in London at the Olympics. I saw him last week in Los Angeles, or just the other day in Los Angeles on Christmas Day. The thing that strikes me, Craig, is that he gets up and performs every single time. There's not one time where you watch LeBron and have a letdown experience where you feel like he didn't bring that thing to the arena, that excitement. He does it every night. To me, that's striking.
You're right. And when you just showed the highlights when we talked about LeBron at the beginning of this segment, you could have taken highlights from any game. You could take any game and say, I need a LeBron highlight, and you could have one. And I think back to the great years with Michael Jordan, how every night he came to play. He didn't take any nights off. Played every night. He may not have won every game, although he won most. You could always find a reason to say, hey, man, I saw LeBron play. Even when LeBron's on the court now, like with Michael, he may not be the leading scorer in the game, but you walk away from that arena, something spectacular had happened, whether it's the block on defense or it's a fast break alley-oop or whatever it is, you walk away saying, this guy is special. He is the best athlete on that floor. And like you said, he just keeps doing it night in, night after night, and it's amazing. It's special. It's a privilege we have to watch him.
No, it really is. I think that's a great point. We should be enjoying Sekou, what we're seeing right now, and sort of stay in the moment, because at 29, he has moved up to 29th on the scoring list, and ahead scoring-wise of great players also at that age, players like Kobe and Jabbar and Michael.
Yeah, and I think part of it is, you have to, of course, keep in mind when these guys all came into the league. Not all of them came in at the same age, so it's not like it's an apples for apples comparison. The thing I love about it, though, is, and we're laughing about this in LA the other day, you turn your head and you miss what LeBron does for 3 seconds, and you're like, oh, I can't believe I missed it, and you have to watch the replay. How many players this deep into their careers are you still doing that with? There's only a handful of these greatest of the great players, and LeBron's one of them right now at 29.
Hey, Segs, and what's interesting is that LeBron could have made this about LeBron. That would have been easy to do, but you see what a good teammate he is, and this goes back to the win in Portland just back on Saturday night, how he was celebrating with Bosh afterward, and he's made this a group thing, a group effort for everyone.
Yeah, he has, and even when they have their get-togethers, it's either at Wade's house or his house. He brings everybody there. Everybody's invited, even if you're the 15th guy on the bench. They talk a lot about it. He does his interviews. He goes, it's all 15. It's not, the starting 5. It's not the big 3. It's not the 10 in the rotation. He always says 15. He talks about everybody on the team. And, yeah, it is special, and he is very generous, and he's very humble, and to be the best player on the planet, we are so fortunate to have somebody that's that accessible, that likable, and that entertaining, and it's just, something very special that we have. And, you appreciate it every day, and like Sekou says, every day he's going to put on some type of a highlight that you're going to go, wow. The game on Christmas Day when he had those alley-oops with Dwayne Wade, Jeff Van Gundy was doing the game. He said, stop. We need to stop the game. We need to put the replays up there on this big screen at Staples so everybody can sit there and watch the replay. LeBron even said he wanted to see the replay, and then they ought to continue the game. That's just how special he is.
It is. And one of my favorite moments was the fan who made the half-court shot in Miami. Went and tackled the guy and rolled around on the floor with him and made that a moment to remember for the year as well. So also sharing with the fans in a moment like that.